Welcome back, everyone. I'm Zell, and when the camera starts shaking, we'll talk about the Protech Magic 2. This is a design by Mike Whiskers Allen, and it's a cool one. If you saw some of the other people that have gotten a look at this knife, it doesn't work like your normal automatic, but fires out hard and closes reasonably easy. And for all of you that didn't catch what happened there, we'll get to it here in a minute. First off, let's get a look at it closed. And we have Protech goodness. I'm not generally, sorry guys at Protech, I'm not generally a huge fan of their design and their big bulky knives. However, this one is not big and bulky. So maybe if I got to carry it a lot, I'd like it better, but it's on loan from Protech, I believe, if I remember correctly. And so I don't get to keep it. And it's a side-firing auto. I wouldn't carry it anyhow, simply because I'm not a person who carries a side-firing auto. Although, if I were going to, this is one I would teach myself how to use, and I would carry every day over the majority of other side-firing autos, and we'll get to why here in just a minute. So let's look at the outside. We got some carbon fiber inlay, and then standard 61 T6 aluminum for the handles. That's a Protech thing on almost all knives. We have a steel pocket clip, deep carry, very nice deep carry clip, and it works well. I've carried the knife for a couple of days, and it carries good, very good. I like the inlay. It's not like super duper smooth right down to the nad's butt inlay, but it's not got any major gaps in it either. I mean, that stuff is in there good, but it does stand up a little over the handles, which is fine with me and probably what they intended, since it's pretty consistent all the way down, all the way around the inlay. Now, we got a little bit of odd jimping back here, but that makes sense whenever we figure out how to get the knife open. Same here, got some odd jimping there, and that's it. So let's get some size comparison done. We'll get a malware out here, and there is our malware. About the same size, though we're at a 375 blade on here and not nearly 3.9. What else do we have that's interesting? We got a native, an LC200N. Do we have any of our standards? Yes, we got a buck 110 up here, and I see a rat over here. So there you go. It's 375, a little longer than average on blade length. And weight-wise, we're at, I had it written down over here. We may have to take another measurement, but that's okay because we've got scales right here. And I don't know where I wrote it down. There's our weight. 4.73 for an auto. We're doing pretty darn good there. And probably should put that back and get, there's 670 carats and 134.2 grams for those guys that are using the metric system, which I'm trying to learn. And it's not learning the numbers. The numbers are fine. In fact, the numbers have always made huge amounts of sense. It's being able to get in my head how big 100 millimeters is, or 10 millimeters, or a centimeter. Yeah, you know what I mean. Or maybe you don't, because you have insisted on not learning the metric system if you live here in the States. But, okay, so blade, right? That's where we go next. Now, this knife has been through a couple of reviewers, so we're seeing some marring of the finish. It's not bad. In fact, a little wet on there and fancy wiping cloth, and see what happens. We can even give it a little EDCI and see if that comes off. I just wanted you guys to see that the dude had been used. So let's see. Does it wipe down? And the answer there is it absolutely does. So that finish is good. And I knew Protech put good finishes on them. And we are 154 CM. Now, I'm not going to complain about that, but it is an interesting choice for a knife that MSRP's at $400 and some dollars. And that's not a joke. You can get this knife. The lowest MSRP is $400. This one is $440. And you can get it in, I'm not sure whether it's Damascus or Damasteel, but anyhow, it is $900. If you're interested in that, it's on Protech's website. So 154 CM is an interesting choice. Is it a bad choice? No. Did they do a good job with the blade? Yeah, they did. We'll get that awful measurement everybody wants. And this one's done right. We're just a little over 20 thousandths for what should be a more, I don't know if heavy duty is right, hard use whenever you do have to use it, maybe knife. So anyhow, mechanically, I guess we should talk about the mechanism, right? Yeah, well, that is something that has confused a lot of people. And here's the thing, it's not hard. You take the knife and you push on the scale down here on the end. And knife opens. So we'll look at that while the knife's open so it doesn't jump open on us. Whenever we push here on the scale, that lifts up the locking mechanism and the knife can open, or close for that matter. But you do have to do that to close the knife as well. Let me get my hands out of the way here. But if you watch here at the end, that's what you're doing to open and close the knife. And that is what makes this knife cool. We could say a whole bunch of other craziness about the knife, but here's the deal. I can get that thing out and it's open. And you're saying, well, I can hit the button on my LUDT and it flicks right out there too. I'm like, yes, you can. But here's the other thing. How many, and this is one reason that the price tag, and I think it runs around on the street, $350 or something like that. But still, an expensive knife. And that here is why it's worth that price if you're going to carry an automatic over maybe something that's got a button on it that has better, not better, more expensive materials. I can open this knife anytime I want. I can close the knife. Not a problem. Took a little practice. I knew how it worked when it showed up, but it took a little practice to kind of get my hand to where it would work. But after a little bit of practice, not a problem to get it open. Not a problem to close it up. But if you are in a scrum of some sort, or you are in a bad place, and this is where those of you that carry a side-firing auto for duty of some sort might want to consider this knife. Because if you can train yourself to get it open and train yourself to get it closed, and you're not going to carry an OTF, then this is the knife to carry. And the reason for that is, whenever you're in that situation, if you drop this knife or somebody you don't want to have gets a hold of it, how many of them are going to know how to open it? How many of those people are spending $300+ on a knife and are studying how to open things like this? I'm sure there's a few, but hand this to your average person and they're going to hurt themselves before they get it open. So that's the major thing with the Protech Magic 2. And I'm going to leave it there, guys. We're not going to go any further with this knife because I've only got it for a few days and then I've got to get it moving on. It belongs to Protech. And it is a, well, it is the only side-firing auto that I would consider carrying. That's it. There's no other side-firing auto out there that makes sense to me. And the only reason this one makes sense is because the firing mechanism is, for all intents and purposes, hidden. And I like that. And if I were in a place where I needed to carry one, that's what I would carry. But There you go, guys. That is the Protech Magic. Well built, just like everything Protech does. And the mechanism works great. We didn't check sharpness, but this is a knife that's been around to several people, so, you know, it doesn't mean it may not be terribly sharp. I didn't have any problems with it, but there you go. And that is your Protech Magic. I like it. I'm just not a guy that's in the market for an automatic knife. But if you are, definitely one worth taking a look at if you're willing to spend the money. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And look out, guys. We got some new stuff coming. We're going to be doing some what I guess you call maker stuff. We're going to make stuff. And it's going to be fun. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time.